the summer of 1969, a dark shadow fell over the serene landscapes of California. On July 4th, a young woman named Darlene Ferrin and her boyfriend, Michael Mageau, found themselves ensnared in a horrifying encounter that would mark the beginning of an infamous killing spree. As they sat in their car at a secluded spot, a mysterious black car approached, left, and then ominously returned. Without warning, a man emerged and shot them both, killing Darlene and severely injuring Michael. The assailant then called the police, coldly confessing to the crime and claiming responsibility for a previous murder. This chilling incident would be the first of many in the Zodiac Killer's reign of terror. The San Francisco Chronicle soon received an encrypted letter from the self-proclaimed Zodiac Killer. In it, he detailed Darlene's murder and demanded the letter be published, threatening to kill more if his demands were not met. Despite skepticism and fear, the newspaper complied, leading to the public's first glimpse into the twisted mind of the Zodiac. The letter included a complex cipher, challenging anyone to decode it. It was eventually cracked by a schoolteacher and his wife, revealing a disturbing message about the killer's enjoyment of murder. Meanwhile, the police struggled to make headway in their investigation. Detective Dave Toschi and his partner Bill Armstrong were among the first to realize the magnitude of the case. The Zodiac's subsequent letters continued to taunt law enforcement and the media, providing details of his crimes and mocking their inability to capture him. His threats extended to targeting schoolchildren, escalating public fear and media frenzy. The Zodiac Killer's impact on the community was immediate and profound. People began altering their daily routines, schools heightened their security measures, and parents grew increasingly paranoid about the safety of their children. Graysmith's fascination grew as he pored over the Zodiac's cryptic messages, convinced that hidden within them were clues that could unravel the mystery of the killer's identity. In September 1969, the Zodiac struck again, this time at Lake Berryessa. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were enjoying a picnic by the lake when they were approached by a man in a bizarre costume, resembling an executioner's hood. He tied them up and stabbed them repeatedly, leaving a message on Brian's car door with the dates of his previous murders. Cecilia succumbed to her injuries, but Brian miraculously survived, providing the police with a detailed description of the killer and his chilling words. The brazen nature of these attacks, coupled with the Zodiac's taunting letters, created a sense of urgency and desperation among the investigators. Toschi and Armstrong worked tirelessly, but the lack of concrete evidence and the randomness of the killings made it incredibly difficult to establish a clear suspect. Each new letter from the Zodiac brought with it fresh taunts and cryptic clues, further frustrating their efforts. On October 11th, 1969, he attacked a cab driver named Paul Stein in San Francisco's Presidio Heights. Unlike previous attacks, this murder occurred in an urban area, escalating public fear. Children who witnessed the aftermath provided a description of the suspect, but police failed to apprehend him. The Zodiac sent another letter to the Chronicle, this time enclosing a piece of Stein's bloody shirt, proving his culpability. The intensity of the investigation reached new heights as the Zodiac's letters became more frequent and detailed. In one letter, he claimed to have killed as many as 37 people, though only a fraction of these were ever confirmed. His communications were filled with cryptic ciphers, some of which remained unsolved, adding to his mystique and the frustration of those trying to catch him. Robert Graysmith, increasingly obsessed with the case, decided to delve deeper into the investigation. He began collecting every available piece of information, from police reports to the Zodiac's letters. His meticulous nature and background in puzzles made him uniquely suited to this task. Graysmith teamed up with crime reporter Paul Avery, and together they pursued leads that the police had either overlooked or dismissed. The murder of Cherry Joe Bates bore striking similarities to the Zodiac's known crimes, and a letter sent to the local newspaper seemed to mirror the Zodiac's taunting style. Graysmith's research suggested that the Zodiac may have started his killing spree earlier than previously thought, adding another layer of complexity to the case. The Zodiac's boldness was evident when he called a local television station during a live broadcast, demanding to speak with attorney Melvin Belli. During the call, he claimed to be suffering from debilitating headaches and suggested that these were the driving force behind his murderous impulses. Despite efforts to trace the call, the Zodiac managed to slip away once again, leaving investigators and the public in a state of heightened anxiety. Amidst the chaos, Toshi and Armstrong faced mounting pressure from their superiors and the public. The lack of progress in the case led to growing frustration and desperation. They interviewed numerous suspects, but each lead seemed to end in a dead end. One of the most promising suspects was Arthur Lee Allen, who had a history of violence and matched several aspects of the Zodiac's profile. Despite their suspicions, the lack of concrete evidence prevented them from making an arrest. As the months turned into years, the Zodiac's letters became less frequent, but his influence continued to cast a long shadow over the Bay Area. Graysmith's obsession with the case began to take a toll on his personal life, straining his marriage and affecting his relationship with his children. Despite the personal cost, he remained determined to uncover the truth, convinced that Allen was the key to solving the mystery. Years passed, and the Zodiac Killer seemed to fade into the shadows. For Graysmith, the hunt was far from over. His obsession with solving the case strained his personal life, leading to the dissolution of his marriage. Undeterred, he continued to compile evidence, convinced that Allen was the Zodiac. The police remained skeptical due to the lack of definitive proof. In 1983, Graysmith finally confronted Allen at his workplace. The encounter was tense, with Allen denying any involvement. Graysmith's persistence paid off when, in 1991, a surviving victim identified Allen from a police lineup. Although this identification added weight to Graysmith's theory, Allen died of a heart attack in 1992, before he could be formally charged. The Zodiac case remained officially unsolved, but Graysmith's exhaustive investigation brought new insights and a renewed focus on Allen as the prime suspect. DNA testing on the Zodiac's letters did not match Allen's DNA, casting doubt on his guilt. Despite this setback, Graysmith's work significantly influenced public perception of the case. The story of the Zodiac Killer remains one of the most enigmatic and haunting chapters in American criminal history. Through Graysmith's determination and the tireless efforts of law enforcement, glimpses of the killer's identity emerged, yet the full truth continues to elude us. The Zodiac's legacy endures as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human soul, and the relentless pursuit of justice by those who refuse to let his victims be forgotten. As the years went by, Graysmith published his findings in a book titled Zodiac, which became a bestseller and brought renewed attention to the case. His work inspired further investigations and kept the public's interest alive. The Zodiac's methods and the psychological profile Graysmith developed influenced other criminal investigations, making the Zodiac case a reference point for studying serial killers. Despite the lack of a definitive resolution, the Zodiac case remains an active investigation in various jurisdictions. Advances in forensic science and the potential for new evidence continue to offer hope that one day, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer may be revealed. The story of the Zodiac serves as a testament to the complexities of criminal investigation and the enduring impact of unresolved mysteries on society. Graysmith's journey from a political cartoonist to a leading figure in one of America's most notorious criminal cases highlights the power of perseverance and the human need to seek justice. His story is a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, the quest for truth and justice can drive individuals to extraordinary lengths. The Zodiac Killer, with his cryptic ciphers, taunting letters, remains a symbol of fear and fascination. His ability to evade capture, despite leaving a trail of clues behind, has cemented his place in the annals of criminal history. The ongoing efforts to solve the case, spurred by Graysmith's work, reflect the enduring human desire to bring closure to victims' families and ensure that justice is served. The saga of the Zodiac Killer, structured in a classic 3-act format, reveals a story of terror, obsession, and the relentless pursuit of truth. It underscores the impact of a single individual's actions on an entire community and the profound dedication of those who seek to bring such individuals to justice. As the mystery of the Zodiac Killer continues to unfold, if you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment.